Well, good afternoon. My name is Eric Weinstein. I am the board chair for AED and the local market leader for Aon in New Mexico. What another absolutely perfect day it is in Albuquerque. Green chili is roasting, mornings are crisp, and the winds are calm. Welcome to the best time of the year, and welcome to Albuquerque Economic Development's quarterly investor update, soon to be a luncheon again. And unfortunately, I start with sad news, but someone to be celebrated by acknowledging that since we last met, a larger than life member of our business and economic development community has passed. As many of you know, Mr. Gene Hinkle departed this life peacefully on July 31st. Gene was a true icon in the Albuquerque business community with his signature plaid jackets, a patriotic outlook, and a commitment to advancing our local economy. He began in real estate in 1954, building a portfolio that many of us have come to know and love, with developments such as First National Bank Building, the High Ridge Theater, and of course, the Hinkle Family Fun Center. Maybe more importantly, in 1960, Gene founded what was then known as the Albuquerque Industrial Development Service. At the time, Gene called a meeting with a group of business people who then raised $75,000 a year for 5 years to ensure that Albuquerque had a dedicated effort for recruiting industry to our community. First project win came in the form of Red Seal potato chip manufacturing operation. So you fast forward 60 years, and this is AED's 60th anniversary, and Gene's early efforts to kickstart what we now know today as Albuquerque Economic Development. His legacy will live on in the many wins that this organization will have as we move into the future. Thank you to Gene and his family for all that they have done for our city. As a founder of AED, we're looking forward to honoring and remembering Gene, his sense of style, and his dedication to growing our economy. You'll see more from AED in the future and how we can all honor Gene's legacy. As we look to the future and turn a page at AED, our search committee of the board has been hard at work over the past 7 months to find our next president. And I wish I had an announcement for you in this meeting, but I don't. But what I can say is you should see an announcement soon. Very soon. And not in this meeting, but please know that myself and the search committee are very proud of the work that we've done and what the future holds for our organization and its future leadership. So stay tuned, more to come. I continue to have exciting things coming at AED. So I wanted to spend a few minutes on a top 10 list of what I love about our city, what makes us special. Besides the chili and the beautiful weather, we all get that. What I really wanted to brag about is the great work being done in our community by all of you. But how to narrow that list with too many amazing companies doing great work right here in Albuquerque? Well, as board chair, I do get a little leeway and thought I would run through a few of our AED major investors. And that happened to be a lot of you still. So I took them AED major investors that happen to be clients of Aon. That helped to narrow it a little bit. I still can't get to 10, but here we go with some shout outs to some amazing companies doing great work in our community that I'm super excited to share. Now, starting with Sennheiser. If you don't win a pair of the Sennheiser headphones today, go buy some. These headphones right here have saved my life during COVID Zoom. And when I'm not on Zoom, I actually do have these wireless noise canceling headphones. Joe Fortune is on our board, and they manufacture these right here in Albuquerque. Thank you, Sennheiser. P&M, what a great partner of AED. Great leadership, and Ron Darnell is on our board, and there's no real economic development without a reliable power source to get the job done. And they're powering my house and this meeting for most of us right now, so thank you for making this meeting possible in so many ways. Thank you, P&M. And speaking of power, affordable solar seems to be moving at the speed of light. A huge partner for AED, for economic development. Ryan Centerwall is on our board, and they are harnessing our natural assets to grow our economy, and in turn, growing their regional company right here in our backyard. Moving to healthcare and Presbyterian Healthcare Services, just a phenomenal organization with amazing leadership. Todd Sandman is on our board. Presbyterian has been serving New Mexico for over 100 years. With over 12,000 employees, they are driving better health in New Mexico, and they employ many frontline workers helping us during COVID. So thank you, Presbyterian. Now, Sandia National Labs, we all know the history with Sandia, and even more exciting is what they'll do in the future, which of course is totally classified, so I'm not going to share any of that with you today. But Sandia has always been part of the Albuquerque fabric of science and ingenuity. Josh Parsons is on our board, and they indeed have been and will continue to be a huge economic driver in our state. Thank you, Sandia, and we get to hear from one of your former colleagues in a little while. Now, Summit Electric Supply, a trusted partner for all things electrical throughout the desert Southwest. Dan Long is on our board, and as he says, which, well, I can't really quote Dan exactly, but if you didn't know, they have significant operations throughout the Gulf states. And when adverse weather events happen there, which they seem to have been happening there, they help those places rebuild. And they have always been headquartered right here in Albuquerque. Thank you, Summit. Speaking of building things up, we have almost another 100-year-old company. This Hallmark Construction Company is a woman-owned, certified B corporation and is run by our very own board member, Cynthia Schultz. Bradbury's success can be seen all over town as the largest general contractor in New Mexico. Now, I Associates of New Mexico, well, a special place in my heart for this organization, as my father is a founder of this company. Our board member, Tony Lenhart, is the executive vice president, and they've been providing the best eye care in the country right here in New Mexico, while employing over 500 employees across our state. Well done, Dad, and the committed team at iAssociates. So I did buy a car during COVID, and of course, it was from the Garcia family of dealerships. Carlos Garcia is on our board, and the Garcia family is much more than an owner of car dealerships. They are entrepreneurs and a major player in economic development in Albuquerque. So a big shout out to the Garcia family. Moving on to New Mexico Mutual, the last of my 10. Have you seen their beautiful headquarter building? Run by Norm Becker and an all-star board of directors, New Mexico Mutual provides the coverages your employees need and is there to help you be a safer, more productive organization, no matter if we're working from home or working on the front line. So thank you, New Mexico Mutual. So that's 10. I'm sorry, French, CNM, UNM. I just couldn't get to you. And these are just 10, but every day AED gets to work with existing businesses, and we see all the great work that you do building and growing our economy. And speaking of committed AED members that are building and growing our economy, at each of our quarterly investor luncheons, we honor long-term investors, recognizing them as AED legacy members. So today, we're recognizing Year Out Mechanical for its 28 years of continuous membership with AED. And accepting the recognition today is Kevin Year Out. Year Out Mechanical has specialized in the installation and service of mechanical and process systems for the commercial, government, manufacturing, industrial, and educational communities of New Mexico for over 55 years. Year Out Mechanical has consistently grown and expanded its capabilities, reaching its present position as the premier mechanical contractor in New Mexico. Year Out is a complete mechanical contractor offering design build, design assist, pre-construction services, as well as utilities, plumbing, HVAC, and so much more, including commercial preventative maintenance and emergency service. Year Out is proud to be a New Mexico company with the ability to support the community that has supported it. Thank you to Year Out Mechanical, Kevin Year Out, for your ongoing commitment to AED and to advancing our city's economy. And now I welcome to the stage someone you all know and love, our very own Annemarie Henton, AED's Vice President of Business Development and Marketing, who, along with Deborah Inman and Beverly Cruz, have done an absolutely wonderful job leading our organization, driving project opportunities, and helping our organization effectively pivot during these unprecedented times. Thank you, and welcome, Annemarie.
Good morning. Actually, it's probably good afternoon at this point, Eric. Thank you for the kind introduction. And I am coming to you live from the 19th floor in downtown Albuquerque from Albuquerque Economic Development's office. And like many of you, we transitioned to a remote workforce when the quarantine started happening in March. And so it's really exciting just to be back up here and be reminded about all of the growth that we have seen and had in this community previous to this, and what we can look forward to after. So the first thing I would really like to do is talk about how everybody keeps telling me that the reason that they look forward to this luncheon, is because we walk away with this sense of excitement around what's possible in Albuquerque, that people walk away feeling ready to work and innovate and excited about what the future might hold. So today, I hope you walk away with inspiration and hope about what is next for our community. And when it comes to AED specifically, we couldn't do the work that we do here without investment from all of you in this community. I can't stress enough how valuable your investment in our mission is to our ability to then be able to turn around and provide the services we do to those recruited companies and local companies as well. So we'll start out today recognizing those members who are new to our organization, as well as those who have decided to increase their investment in our mission. So the first member welcome today, dun, 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 dun. We have different membership levels, but first of all, please help me welcome Oso Grande Technologies, Mr. Dennis Jontz. Thank you so much for your investment. Next up is ASRC Federal, Lindsay, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, Lomangino, Lindsay Lomangino. Thank you to you and your team for joining our organization. And please help me welcome the Bosky School, Dr. Jesse Berry. And Dr. Berry, your team, thank you so much. And also Mr. Mark Fidel with RiskSense for making that referral for us. And then also Spring Hill Suites, Carissa Virgin. Thank you so much. Next up is one of our amazing recruitment wins here in the Albuquerque metro area in the last couple of years, and that is Facebook. Miss Holly Davies is the new contact here in the local market, and I would encourage you to connect with her and get to know all the things that Facebook is doing in terms of grants and other things for our community right now and always and into the future. So thank you, all of you, for your investment in this organization. You make it possible for us to do what we do. So now it is my pleasure and honor to get to provide to you AED's economic update for this quarter. And the first thing that I am most excited about is hopefully you heard from us in the past couple of weeks that we have a new employer in the Albuquerque metro area. And so I'm particularly excited about this project because of what it represents for the future of mobility projects in our state. Torque Robotics, which is a partner of Daimler Trucks North America, is extending its testing to New Mexico and building a new testing center right here in Albuquerque. This will help the company with testing, collecting data, and providing more real-world cases toward the next generation of vehicles. So headquartered in Blackburn, Virginia, Torque is a leader in autonomous vehicle software and integration solutions. The company has a decade of experience partnering with what are known as original equipment manufacturers, or OEMs, and mobility companies to integrate their technology into vehicles. So think about when you're driving your car around town, all of those technology components happening to help you on the road. And in 2019, Daimler Trucks North America acquired a majority stake in Torque Robotics, and this created a partnership in Daimler's autonomous technology group to commercialize self-driving technology. And the companies are collaborating closely with state and local government agencies here in New Mexico already. Torque Robotics is currently hiring in Albuquerque, and I would encourage any of you who are interested in learning more about those great positions to reach out to us at AED, and we'll be happy to share those amazing job opportunities with you. And as part of this project, I would really like to thank the many partners who have worked with us, as always, to make this project a reality. And I would personally like to thank Randy Trask with the New Mexico Trade Alliance, Cynthia Jaramillo and her team at the City of Albuquerque, and Mark Roper with the New Mexico Economic Development Department, and many others of you who have helped in this project. And we'll keep you updated as the project rolls out and the company is ready to share more information with all of you. So what's going on in economic development? Our project activity remains strong, and we're starting to see things pick up actually a little bit as restrictions loosen and travel starts to become a reality again for many of our site selection consultants and their companies. And, you know, when this all hit, a lot of people were very concerned about project activity dropping off. And we didn't see a drop off in any of our projects. What we did see was a slowdown in terms of people not being able to come here with boots on the ground to really get to know our community and pick out those real estate options that would work for them. So it has changed timelines a little bit. The other thing that is happening currently is a lot of companies, especially on the office side, are really kind of playing a wait and see game around what's it going to look like now that a lot of companies have been able to test out and implement remote work styles and that type of thing. You know, what is the office real estate footprint going to look like for them? So AED, I can tell you, is currently involved in 37 projects, and of those, 41% are in the manufacturing space, 32% are in what we would consider office projects, 5% in R&D, 3% represent warehousing and distribution, and let's classify the rest as other. And of those 37 active projects, that represents the following industries: aerospace, aviation, automotive, cosmetics and beauty, electronics, film and digital media, financial and insurance services, food and beverage, general manufacturing, health, life sciences, pharma, IT and software, plastics, renewables, professional services, and more. So we have a great slate of projects right now. And I would say out of our top 10, they represent the potential for nearly 1,700 new jobs to this community and upwards of about $750 million in capital investment. But I do want to point out that those numbers are pretty conservative, and that's because we're working on a number of projects that are still trying to determine what their numbers are going to look like as they make their decisions. And you may have heard that the United States Space Command is seeking a new headquarters, and Albuquerque is in the running for that project. The first phase of the proposal process was a nomination. So cities had to meet 3 specific requirements to be considered. You had to have a population base within the top 150 metro areas in the United States. You had to be located within 25 miles of a military base. And you had to have an AARP Public Policy Institute livability index score of at least 50 points. And the way it worked is that governors accepted self-nominations from cities who met the criteria and then put them forward for consideration. So Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham endorsed Albuquerque's nomination for Mayor Tim Keller in Kirtland Air Force Base. So in late July, Albuquerque was one of 31 locations invited to answer the first round of questionnaires as part of phase 2. And the teams from the state of New Mexico and the city of Albuquerque worked closely with partners such as those of us at AED, the Kirtland Partnership Committee, New Space New Mexico, CNM, UNM, and more to answer a series of detailed questions addressing potential sites, program capabilities, mission partnerships, workforce resources, infrastructure, et cetera. And so this extended team submitted its phase 2 proposal on August 29th. And the 100-point questionnaire will be evaluated for things such as mission, capacity, community, and costs. And those communities receiving what they're calling an influence score of 45% or more will be advanced again. So we expect to be notified in the next 4 months about what those next steps might look like. So thanks to Mike Pulley and team over at the city of Albuquerque for driving that. And for many of you, we talk frequently about what we do on the recruitment side when we're bringing new economic-based companies to New Mexico. But I can't stress enough what we do to help local companies. So we have what I would consider a rock star of a team, a local existing business development team that consists of Bob Walton, Dennis Houston, and Wendy Ederer, who spend all of their time working exclusively with companies here already operating in the Albuquerque metro area. So while AED has provided assistance to existing businesses since its formation in 1960, in 2001, Bob and others dedicated resources specifically to this local business retention effort. And so for the past 19 years, AED's team has educated local business owners and leaders to ensure that they're taking advantage of the programs that are designed to help them succeed here and stay here. And during that time, this team has helped more than 2,000 local companies with that. And AED's team members do things such as introduce businesses to lenders to finance property or equipment, help businesses that have outgrown their existing locations, connect entrepreneurs who have an idea for a new product to marketing and business plans, link tech companies to resources at the state's national laboratories, educate employers about the state's job training incentive program and other federal training programs that help them scale quickly, provide personalized advice and guidance to help local businesses achieve goals. This team asks each client, what is keeping you from growing your business? Because every single business owner is different. So we don't take a cookie cutter approach. This team provides customized solutions. And I should mention that this team operates under a contract with the city of Albuquerque, and that's why they are able to turn around and provide this service to local companies. And outreach by our existing business development program makes sure, I already mentioned this, that these companies stay here in Albuquerque, where they create jobs for our neighbors, they contribute to the local tax base and expand that, and just continue to strengthen our economy. And a global pandemic has not slowed this team down at all. In fact, the opposite. In the early days of the pandemic, the team quickly adjusted its work to focus in providing businesses with the information they needed to access all the COVID-related programs that were becoming available to help keep them afloat. And while we know that we have some very serious challenges in certain industries, we're also working with a number of companies that are in expansion mode. This includes startups. And so we're also seeing a lot of our clients with big hiring goals right now and an uptick in those applying for the JTIP program. And so once again, this team has become the go-to resource to help companies navigate programs and resources that are critical to our local businesses. So far this year, this team has met with 70 companies, and companies assisted by this team have received $3 million in JTIP funding, which has then allowed for the addition of 242 net new jobs, which represents more than $13 million in new annual payroll. And I want to point out that that is 20 more jobs and $200,000 more in new payroll than this exact same time in Albuquerque last year. And this team feels like the existing business outlook is really positive. So those companies that are real business drivers are doing really well. And Wendy, I was talking to Wendy on our team this morning, and she was talking about how business owners here are so resourceful and tenacious. And those companies that were experiencing supply chain issues early on quickly figured out workarounds. Companies that weren't used to using technology 24/7 to communicate and to operate moved really fast. And a lot of these companies are also using this time to work on professional development. So that's really, really exciting to us here at AED. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what does our attraction efforts, our business development and marketing efforts, what does that look like for us now that we haven't been necessarily on the road? And just like all of you, our industry has transitioned quickly to 100% virtual as well. So most of the conferences and trade shows that we were already planning to attend to attract industry, we're still attending those. We, in a lot of cases, actually have a more captive audience with site selection consultants. So instead of us trying to get an hour on somebody's calendar at their office, it's much easier to be on their time and have their focus via video. And we're gaining some really valuable insights from that. A lot of these consultants are more available and willing to participate in the economic development community to give all of us an inside look at, what trends are they seeing from their clients? Do they have tips and suggestions for how we might be able to better pitch when we know that companies can't necessarily be here right on the ground at this time? And then also a lot of these site selection firms have pivoted themselves to where now they're offering webinars about specific topics related to supply chain, workforce development, et cetera. So that's been really helpful to our team as well in making those connections with those key players who are making those decisions. And then also for our team, we're still spending a lot of time with other economic developers. I attended the DCI Marketing Summit a couple weeks ago where we were all talking about, what does that transition to virtual or digital marketing look like for everybody in the foreseeable future. And it was really cool to hear about the different innovations at all levels of budget and how quickly we're all trying to pivot to make that a reality. And the site selectors who participated in this were very complimentary of the industry's ability to do that. And when it comes to marketing, a lot of our marketing is focused outside of the state. So you might not necessarily see or know about what we're doing at any given time. Right now, these slides that you see are a number of ads that we did in partnership with the city of Albuquerque to be able to promote specific industries such as aerospace, mobility, directed energy, digital media, that kind of thing. And so we're doing as much as we can in that space. And I want to give a shout out to my teammate, Marisol Lucero, for being so integral in that process. And so those custom materials, we have them, and we're getting a lot of inquiries from a lot of you around, do you have something that we can use also? In a lot of cases, we do already have that kind of thing produced. So if you're interested in seeing that, please just let us know, and we'd be happy to share that with you. Because even with what I would consider can be a challenging marketing budget, we have so many partners that step up to the plate to help us with that kind of thing. So thank you to all of you as well. And I hope that a lot of you, it looks like many of you, according to our member list, were able to connect with the Facebook Career Connections program. So one of the things Facebook did this summer was provide an internship program that allowed for local companies to get an boots on the ground, so to speak, social media and marketing manager, which would help us all level up quickly in that space to be able to attract others. We were the fortunate benefit of one of those, Hannah Lerner. She did an excellent job for us, and she helped increase our audiences. And I'm really happy to hear how many of you local companies and members have then turned around and extended full-time job opportunities to those people. So in addition to this being a skill up for all of us on the marketing side, it has ended up being a job creation effort. So thank you to all of you in Facebook for that. And we have coming up the 505 Awards. The nomination process has concluded, and our selection committee will be meeting here in the next couple of weeks to decide honorees, and we'll have that exciting announcement out to all of you in the public at the end of the month. But please save the date for November 12th. We'll have a special awards banquet. It'll be really fun like it was last year. We won't be in person. It will be virtual, but I promise you that we'll make it entertaining. We'll have a good time. And before we turn it over to our speakers, I do want to touch on the Start Bragging campaign. Many of you, I hope, know about it. And we recently launched in partnership with Cumulus Radio, a weekly radio show that is also a podcast. And what we're doing is featuring really great stories from all you cool individuals out there who are just producing amazing products, providing the community with incredible resources. And we are doing it via Zoom right now, like everyone else, but I would encourage you to check that out. Send people our way. We want to be able to point our clients and all of our members to this amazing library of great stories that just showcase how awesome this community truly is. And in that vein, I also want to thank AED member Enterprise Bank and Trust for sponsoring that effort for us. But I would encourage everybody to, even in this season of discomfort, to get excited about what's possible and what's next here in Albuquerque, and keep looking for those nuggets that inspire you and those people that get you excited. Because I think personally that Albuquerque is sitting in an amazing space to just attract so many individuals, talented individuals, to retain so many individuals, and to really continue to get on companies' radars and create awesome jobs for our community. So with that, I thank you very much. And we are going to welcome our first sponsor today, the one and only Intel, and special thanks to Mindy Cook and Erica Edgerly here with the Intel team. And here is their message for you.
A few things have changed since 1980. The music is different. How we work and where we work have changed dramatically, especially in 2020. Did you ever think you would be able to get everything done by sitting at home? A redefined office space where your family, your dog, your cat, even your bird are your new coworkers. The metro has changed quite a bit as well. From this view from a balloon, you can see the inaugural year of the City of Vision. Corrales and the North Valley were mostly fields and open space. Our campus has changed a bit over time. This was our construction sign at the corner of New Mexico 528 and Sarah Road. From the beginning, we partnered with local businesses such as Bradbury and Stam and Flatow, Moore, Bryan and Associates. You can see the completed Fab 7 on the corner of New Mexico 528 and Sarah Road. We started processing 4-inch memory wafers and quickly transitioned to 6-inch wafers. With the help of Sandoval County and our industrial revenue bond, we were able to grow our operations by adding Fab 9. Fab 9 started on 6-inch memory and logic wafers. Do you remember the 286, the 386, and the 486? Fab 9 was eventually converted to support 8-inch logic CPU wafers over time. This is our campus today. Fab 11 was added in 1994 and started running 8-inch wafers. At the time, its 160,000 square foot clean room was one of the largest construction projects. We built Fab 11X in 2000. It was Intel's first 12-inch or 300mm factory. We have since converted Fab 11 and Fab 11X to be one 365,000 square foot, 300mm factory. And one more thing has changed, our brand. One of our founders, Robert Noyce, once said, "Don't be encumbered by the past. Go off and do something wonderful." As we look to the future, that will be the thing we always keep in mind, and we continue to work towards our purpose to create world-changing technology that enriches the lives of every person on Earth. Now, a few things haven't changed since 1980. One thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to our New Mexico community and our neighbors, volunteering close to 14,000 hours in the community and generating a matching grant from the Intel Foundation of almost $140,000 to local schools and nonprofits. Even with COVID, our employees have continued their commitment to volunteering in new and different ways. We had a team individually donate blood and then create this collage. Our interns did a great job creating virtual STEM challenge lessons for public schools. Early on, Intel was able to donate over 55,000 pieces of PPE to the State of New Mexico Department of Homeland Security to distribute to those most in need in the state. Intel is proud to be part of the New Mexico economy. We appreciated the partnership with the State of New Mexico, Sandoval County, and the City of Rio Rancho, and many others. According to the World Health Organization, 1.35 million people die each year as a result of road traffic crashes. We will collaborate with our industry partners to advance the adoption of technology-neutral safety standards to reduce traffic accidents globally. We will work with others to accelerate cures for diseases, improve healthcare access, and affordability. Our Pandemic Response Technology Initiative, for example, aims to improve the diagnosis and treatment of COVID-19. We aim to partner with 30 governments and 30,000 institutions worldwide to empower more than 30 million people with AI skills training for current and future jobs. We will work with our customers and others to transform product energy use and apply technology to reduce computing-related climate impacts across the global economy. This will include collaboration with PC manufacturers to build the most sustainable and energy-efficient PC on the planet, one that minimizes carbon, water, and waste in its design and use. One last thing that hasn't changed, our commitment to AED. AED helped Intel come to New Mexico back in 1980. They helped us decide which side of I-25 to be on, which side of the river we wanted to be on, and which county we wanted to be in. Who would have thought that a sod farm would be an ideal spot for a semiconductor manufacturer? AED had that vision and creativity that helped get us to where we are today. Intel is proud to have been a member of AED for nearly as long as we have been in New Mexico. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to wish AED a happy 60th anniversary. Thank you for all you have done and continue to do for our community. Thank you for the opportunity to sponsor the AED Quarterly Investors Luncheon. Stay safe, have a great day, and remember to do something wonderful.
Thank you so much, Intel, for all that you do for our community. You just keep paying us back over and over, and we appreciate it, and we're happy to be supporting you. Before we move on to the second speaker, I have to apologize because when we were talking about the 505 Awards, I forgot to mention True Health New Mexico as our premier sponsor for that event. They care about the health of our economy, and we certainly appreciate them for that. So thank you so much, True Health New Mexico. And next up, we have Mr. Ray Smith and team from Klinger Constructors, LLC.
Klinger Constructors, building strong since 1982. It is a well-known fact in the construction industry that without a strong foundation, little else matters. That's why Klinger builds for our community. Klinger's projects leave a legacy that can be seen around the city. For almost 30 years, Klinger has invested and supported the mission of Albuquerque economic development. The past 60 years, AED has brought projects right to Albuquerque's doorstep. This has given us, at Klinger, the opportunity to continue the growth and prosperity we have become accustomed to decade after decade.
Happy 60th!
Did you all know that Ray Smith can juggle? And speaking of Ray, he was trying to call in but hasn't been able to yet. So I'm going to read what he wanted to mention this morning. And he said, we're proud to support AED alongside Intel today. And we're proud to share that we've worked with and for Intel continuously since 1988. And AED and Intel have made Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, and all of New Mexico a better place to live, work, and play. And we all need to continue to support AED's mission, so we will have more Intels and Klingers. We're proud that we excel at building manufacturing plants, 5-star hotels, and small tenant improvements. Please contact Ray and his team, and they will do what it takes to make you their next repeat customer. Thank you so much. So now it is my turn to kick it back over to Mr. Eric Weinstein, who is going to introduce the men of the hour.
Thank you, Annemarie, and everybody, please help me welcome our first keynote speaker, Mr. Adam Greenhood. Adam is the CEO and founder of AdWallet. AdWallet enables everyone to finally be rewarded by advertisers for one of their most valuable personal commodities, their own attention. After 24 months of beta testing AdWallet in New Mexico, the company is expanding nationwide. Before founding AdWallet, Adam worked as a creative director at top advertising firms in the Southwest. He currently lives in Albuquerque with his 14-year-old daughter, his 20-month-old son, and 2 pleasantly plump dogs. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. AdWallet has been a proud member of AED since we started about 3 years ago, and I've been to many of these luncheons, and I'm just honored to have a chance to speak to you today. If you don't know about AdWallet and you live in New Mexico, like my wonderful introduction said, I've been in advertising 20 years, and I've had the honor of working at 2 of the greatest agencies here in New Mexico. One was Rick Johnson Company, and the other was Esparza. And about 3 years ago now, I was surfing the web one day, eating lunch, and I came across this meme. And to be very honest, I laughed because it's funny. And then I threw up in my mouth a little bit because I realized it was true. And I realized that no matter all of the fantastic work I've been responsible for our clients at different agencies, at the end, we have to push through pipes, for lack of a better term, where people don't want to see an ad, right? Nobody woke up this morning saying, I can't wait to see ads. They've become things that we try to work around and work through. We don't even identify a lot of times that they have a lot of value for ourselves. And I, to be very honest, got wrapped around the axle after seeing this. I went home and was up all night, and I started doing some research, and I found that even Google would admit that 50% of all of the ads that they run are completely unseen, right? They run, and but we don't actually watch them. They're in front of us, but we're not paying attention. And Google, that, to put a number on that, that's about $65 billion a year in just digital ad spend on Google. which is really wasted, which is wasted by small businesses and large businesses. And it's not Google's fault, and it's not the business's fault. It's not advertising's fault. It's just the system that we currently have, the pipes that we have to use for advertising are lack a lot. And when you really dig down into the problem, you have advertising current on the left, which is controlled by third parties and middlemen. The folks that pay for ads to run, advertisers, marketers, and small businesses, they don't actually own that pipe. They're basically putting their ads through pipes that are run by other individuals. As you all know, we're experiencing a lot of data protection and tracking and brand safety issues. This has really come to the forefront after I started AdWallet, in the last year. Certainly a lot of companies have been struggling with that in the digital ad space. And like we just talked about, an enormous amount of it is waste. And it's not really anyone's fault. It's just that ads have always been presented as this gate that you have to get through to get to the thing you actually care about. And they're just not presented in a way where it's an offering or a gift. It's more of an interruption. And so when I started AdWallet, this is literally a sheet of paper that I drew on. It was this imaginary idea that what if an ad could go directly from an advertiser directly to their customer without using a middleman, a direct pipe? What if we could create a system that was 100% first-party data, 100% opted in, and 100% brand safe? And most importantly, what if when an advertiser sent an ad, it was never blocked, skipped, or ignored? Because when that ad popped out on the other side, that consumer was actually excited about getting an ad. It wasn't just a thing they had to brush away from their face. It was actually an opportunity or a gift. And the way you do that, very simply, is you allow an advertiser to pay their end consumer to reward them for their full attention to a product or service, rather than that advertiser rewarding a publisher to then run an ad to interrupt that person when they're trying to see a TV show or listen to music or whatever they're doing that day. So you just allow an advertiser to frankly buy the commodity that they've been trying to buy directly from the source, which is all us. And so this is really at a high level what AdWallet does. It enables an advertiser to target an individual that they like to talk to and purchase their attention directly. I'm going to show you a quick video of what that looks like from an advertiser side.
Getting the attention of your customers through advertising used to be easy, but today there are literally millions of messages from thousands of channels competing for their attention. But what if you could just buy their attention directly and bypass the whole broken system entirely? Introducing AdWallet. Paid attention. When you advertise on AdWallet, you can select a highly specific target, define your maximum budget, and send your ad right to your customer's personal AdWallet app. AdWallet cross-references your desired customer against our hundreds of thousands of members, searching for the perfect match. Your perfect customer then receives a notification that your ad is in their AdWallet. Once they review your up to 2-minute video, they must answer a question to verify they fully paid attention to all of its content. AdWallet then identifies their intent to purchase or engage further with your brand. Additionally, you can ask them to rate how they felt about your ad. Perfect for A/B testing. You can also enable them to download an exclusive offer or more information about your product, service, or program. Offer them additional rewards for their verified email or cell number, and even have them take a short survey about your product or service. At the end of every AdWallet experience, if your customer expressed further interest in your message, they will be redirected to your website where you can target and engage with them even further. During your campaign, AdWallet provides live, real-time reporting that includes detailed analytics, as well as direct, first-party contact information provided by each verified lead. With AdWallet, you'll finally be able to use first-party data to target at an individual level. Pay for verified actions, not just impressions. Capture and retain thousands of leads, leverage an entirely cookie-free targeting system, and most importantly, finally have a direct, uninterrupted pipeline to your customers' full, undivided attention to your product or service. AdWallet. Paid attention.
Right. So very simply, think of this is not a media channel that has ads. This is a channel that is ads only. And when you do that, and when you cut out the middleman, like you'd expect in most businesses, whereas you can get a cost per click on large systems currently, this is what you're able to do when it's a cost per engagement. You basically, that's what our advertisers are paying for everything you just saw in that video. And it's not magic. It's basically saying, allowing an advertiser to buy something directly from the source rather than from a third party. How we make money is fairly straightforward. We pay about $2 ourselves to onboard a new member. Advertisers then go onto our platform and they pay us up front. They buy a bunch of credits on AdWallet, and then they select exactly the people from our system that they'd like to target. Those members then receive an ad in their AdWallet, like you saw. We make about 50% on each engagement. So what we charge them, we give our member 50% of that money, and then we retain the other 50% for ourselves. And then when a member earns $10 or more, they're able to cash out from their app in a variety of ways. They can make it one of 150 national gift cards, or they can literally push the money directly to their bank account. When I started AdWallet, I wasn't exactly sure who our target was, right? Who would sign up for this? After 3 years and a couple 100,000 members, we now have a pretty good idea of who likes this. It's everyone from a young 22-year-old who is in it to earn a little bit of extra money and learn new things, all the way up to a mother of a couple kids who's looking to learn about new things in her community. And then there's a percentage of AdWalleters who, again, are not really in this to make money. There's not a whole lot of money to be made in it. It's more the point that, hey, if an advertiser is going to pay for my data and pay for my full attention, they should be paying me directly for that. That's my own personal commodity. That's my own personal data. This is enabling folks to finally, frankly, monetize what is actually theirs. We currently have 135,000 members active that are targetable by an advertiser. About 40% of those members are here in New Mexico, so about 50,000 people here in New Mexico. About 1 out of 20 folks between the ages of 21 and 65 right now have an AdWallet and are doing exactly what I just showed you. The other 60% are all over the United States, so we have members in all 50 states now. 78% of them are active. These are people that, hey, when we send a text saying that they have an ad in their AdWallet, that very day they engage in it, they get rewarded for their attention, and more importantly, they learn about a product or a service that they actually care about and can engage in further from that moment. We've been really blessed. We started here in New Mexico. We're New Mexico-based, so about half of our advertisers are local here in New Mexico, and now about half our advertisers are outside of New Mexico, national brands that are really excited about this premise and have been testing AdWallet along with us for the past 2 years and are very excited about our next plans to start scaling outside of the state, because the results they're getting from our frankly, our test tube baby, if you will, have kind of blown them away. And so they're really just excited about us scaling. Our growth strategy as we continue, we're always going to be based here in New Mexico. It's where our HQ is going to be, but our growth strategy over the next 12 to 18 months is to move heavily into Colorado and Texas, which we already have quite a few members in. And then from there, scaling into really the top DMAs all over the country. Where we are as a business is we're experiencing a 4x growth even during these very, very challenging times of 2020 from last year. So this is really starting to catch on. We've doubled our membership in the last 4 months. And again, it costs us about $2 to add a new member to AdWallet. And our technology, thanks to our CTO, who we actually found here in New Mexico, who's the former head of product design at Amazon. I can't say enough about him. He's helped build our tech to the point where we can add 2 million members tomorrow. So we're excited about that. Again, we're really proud. I've been here in New Mexico. I grew up in California, but I've lived in New Mexico for 20 plus years. So so I believe I hopefully qualify as a local at some point. When it comes to Albuquerque economic development, I believe so strongly in this. There are so many fantastic companies here in New Mexico. You'll hear from after me, RS21. But how is AdWallet able to help increase the value of New Mexico? We're very familiar with how it's been done one way. Here's a couple ways that we've been doing it. Today, actually, I checked. As of today, AdWallet has given back a little over $1 million to folks, members of ours here in New Mexico, who have earned that $1 million for their own attention. This was $1 million that would have been spent on other media that basically would have turned to vapor. And instead, this money goes back into society, where these folks can cash out of their ad wallet and buy a cup of coffee at a local coffee shop, or a meal at a local restaurant. So this money is basically being dropped down from out of the sky and back into our local economy. And we are excited about doing that for New Mexico, as well as we scale all over the country. Can't say enough about one of the programs, an investor program that exists here in New Mexico, called the New Mexico Angel Investor. This is a program that not a whole lot of people know about, but it's been very powerful for our growth, as about half of our investment in New Mexico in AdWallet to date has been from New Mexico investors. This is a program that enables a New Mexico investor to basically get a 25% tax credit back from any investment they make in a New Mexico company. And while those are New Mexico investors that have helped stand AdWallet up, now AdWallet is ready to scale outside of the country. And to that end, a lot of our advertisers, like I said earlier, are from outside of New Mexico. These are national advertisers that, as we grow, will continue to grow with us. This is money from out of the state, but suddenly flooding into a New Mexico-based company. And of course, our future plans as we scale are to build a headquarters here in New Mexico, to hire obviously here in the state, but we're going to have require in the last month of starting to look for a few very high-level positions at AdWallet that are obviously folks out of state. While it was not imperative to us that they move, they want to. They're excited about living in New Mexico, and so again, bringing more folks to New Mexico as we scale, that's something we're really excited about. So I know we're running a little long here, so I'm going to cut my presentation hopefully a little bit shorter. But I really appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about AdWallet with all of the membership, and I encourage you to reach out to us at Valerie at AdWallet.com. She's our director of sales. If you're a local company, we'll match any sale that you put on AdWallet up to $2,500. We're willing to do that for any AED member. And so go ahead and reach out to Valerie at AdWallet.com, and we'd be happy to show you all of the ins and outs of the system and show you how it can work for your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. That's awesome. Appreciate the commitment to Albuquerque, and hopefully you just picked up about 300 plus new AdWallet members while you were talking. Look forward to checking it out. Thank you again. Nice presentation. That was great. So our next presenter, and thank you for taking it easy on me with the bio, Charles, because Charles Rath is president and CEO of RS21. RS21 was created with the desire to help businesses and communities prepare for a dynamic and changing world, harnessing the power of data to help make better, faster, smarter decisions. Charles is a global thought leader in the field of data analytics and visualizations. Under his leadership, the RS21 team provides advanced analytics to support efforts in healthcare, community safety, infrastructure resilience, security, cybersecurity, and disaster preparedness. Named an Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Desert Mountain Region finalist in 2020 and one of the top U.S. executives to watch in 2019, Charles brings a unique perspective on the future of technology with a particular focus on doing good with data. Prior to starting RS21, Charles led the Resilient Cities program at Sandia National Laboratories. He holds a master's degree in public policy from American University in Washington, D.C., and a bachelor's from the University of Missouri. Charles, welcome. Can't wait to see what you've got for us today.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. And I have to say, I do have a little bit of background envy. You caught me working out of my 3-year-old Teddy's room, the real boss of RS21. So a little embarrassed about the background, but really happy to be here. Super thankful for the support of AED since we started. So great. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about RS21 and touch on kind of 2 consistent themes about our organization. One is our unconventional approach to success as a tech company. And the second thing is really how RS21 is a reflection of what makes New Mexico special. So RS21 is a data science and data visualization company. As you mentioned, Eric, we solve some of humanity's toughest challenges using the information that exists in the world. 90% of the world's data was created in the last 2 years, and the organizations that are able to harness the power of the information that we have at our fingertips will succeed in the fourth industrial revolution, and those that don't will struggle. We have offices here, of course, in Albuquerque, and also an office in Washington, D.C. RS21, many of you know our humble beginnings. We are self-funded. We started the organization in 2015. I was working under the mentorship of Dale Decker and Brian Burnett, who are great community members here in New Mexico. And I was one man alone in a cube at DPS. The first year of business in 2015, we amassed about $92,000. We weren't 100% sure if we wanted to move forward or not. Second year, we were able to make $622,000. And then over the next 4 years, we grew 947%, which most recently landed us on the Inc. 500 list, which is the top 10% of the Inc. 5000 list based on revenue here in the United States. The cool thing about being self-funded and growing the way that we did is that we were able to also focus a lot on our culture and creating a workplace that really harnesses innovation. And to that end, this year, we were awarded a national award by Fast Company for being one of the top 50 most innovative workplaces for innovators by Fast Company. So we're really excited about those two acknowledgments. So people ask me all the time, what's your recipe for success? What is the secret of RS21? And frankly, it's really quite simple. We developed values that we believe in as an organization. We take projects that we believe in, and then we hire passionate, talented people, and we get the hell out of their way. And there is a list of our values that we hold very dear at RS21. And the great Ann Rhodes here in New Mexico from Southwest Airlines actually helped us create those values and helped ensure that we are a values-based company. So many great resources here in New Mexico. As I mentioned, we take projects that we believe are going to help humanity solve its toughest challenges, and that involves national security and healthcare and crime, sustainability, and many of these projects which we're working on right here in New Mexico. We've actually executed about over 100 of these big data, data integration projects. We recently rolled out our Mother platform, which is our proprietary architecture that allows us to ingest massive amounts of data on behalf of our customers, analyze that information using the latest artificial intelligence and machine learning methods, and then visualize them. So we do a lot of work all around the world. We work with Fortune 100 companies. We work with the federal government. We work with NGOs. We work with state and local governments as well. But I'm most proud of the work that we've started to do here in our own state. We are working on a myriad of different national security challenges at Sandia National Labs. We're working with the Bernalillo County District Attorney to help mitigate crime here in Bernalillo County. We're working with the State Superintendent of Insurance to provide data-driven mechanisms that allow people to access affordable insurance here in our state. We're working with Presbyterian to address population health issues. We're building a business intelligence system for New Mexico Gas. We're helping True Health New Mexico use data to better serve its members. One thing I am extremely excited about is, and this is the first time that we've announced this publicly, but RS21 was selected by the UNM Comprehensive Cancer Center to build a massive integrated informatics platform that will allow that organization to integrate all the various data sets that its researchers and clinicians are creating to better aid in the fight against cancer. It's a huge initiative, and we're absolutely thrilled to be the vendor that is building that for the Cancer Center. We're also helping the Attorney General here in the state of New Mexico detect Medicaid fraud. And last but not least, we are working with the great Gary Opedal at Annemarie Technologies on a huge innovation related to renewable energies. And there will be a feature article in Albuquerque Journal on Monday. So stay tuned for that. Our story is very much about New Mexico. RS21 would not have been successful had we not located here. New Mexico has a rich history of technology and innovation, starting from our beginnings, and now with the national laboratories. We're also an incredibly creative state as well. And we've been able to harness the power of that history to create a truly special and innovative organization. So we are very committed to New Mexico. We are located downtown in the historical Occidental Insurance building. We made a commitment 2 years ago to go exclusively local as a business when we can. And so that means anytime that we are looking to hire a caterer or hire an accountant or hire a designer to help with our office, we go local first. And since we've made that commitment, we have worked with 60 local New Mexico businesses. And when you combine that with a majority of our staff living here in New Mexico, we've contributed about $13 million to the local economy since we started. I would strongly encourage businesses to adapt this philosophy, particularly as we are focused on this massive economic hardship given by COVID-19. I would encourage all of us to go local first. The money goes 3 times as far as it does if you send that money out of state. We're very proud of our ability to reverse the brain drain that everyone talks about here in the state. I'm a big believer in the old Kevin Costner movie that says, if you build it, they will come. And we've created a passion-driven, values-based organization here in Albuquerque, and we are so proud of our ability to bring people back from Colorado, California, Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and the list goes on. And I believe that companies like Adams at AdWallet and RiskSense are doing the same. People want to live in our state. We have so much to offer with the affordable living, the access to incredible institutions like Sandia and AFRL, the Green Chili, of course. People want to come back to New Mexico. We work a lot with local academic institutions and nonprofits like Cultivating Coders to help with the pipeline of talent in tech companies like RS21. Tech companies writ large are not very good at creating equitable workplaces. I'm very proud of our partnership with Cultivating Coders, which goes into underserved populations and teaches kids how to code. We have an apprenticeship program with them. Also very, very happy of our partnerships with UNM, New Mexico State, New Mexico Tech. Deep Dive Coding Bootcamp is an amazing resource for our state. The graduates from Deep Dive Coding represent roughly 50% of our development team at this point. And so we have some amazing organizations here in New Mexico that are churning out incredibly talented people for all the right reasons. We also give a lot back to the community. We have our 9 Days of Giving campaign that we implement every year and really are proud of our support of the various nonprofits here in New Mexico that are supporting missions that align to our values. You may have also seen our hype video with the New Mexico Lobos basketball team that we did in partnership with Jack and Flux. We're really excited to do this video again, hopefully when the pit is packed and rocking, maybe in 2020, but most likely not. One of the biggest stories of the year for RS21 was our response to the COVID-19 crisis. So in March, when we all realized that COVID was going to hit us in a profound way, we were actually kind of scared about the future of the business. A lot of our government contracts were delayed. A lot of our contracts with our commercial customers were delayed as well because everyone was trying to adapt to the new normal. And I had several RS21 employees come to me and say, hey, we want to use our capabilities at RS21 for good. We want to develop a tool to help identify those people living in communities that would be the most vulnerable to COVID-19. And so over the next 5 days, our employees developed an index to identify the most vulnerable populations to COVID-19 for the 3 largest cities in New Mexico. Luckily, our early work on that effort was picked up by some local media and began to go viral on social media. And then we started getting phone calls from all over the country, from New Orleans, New York, San Francisco, Mooresville, Indiana. And over the next 2 weeks, our team scaled our Urban Health Vulnerability Index to 500 cities across the U.S., every major city. We did it on our dime. And it really helped municipalities, to include our own here in Albuquerque, identify those populations that would need access to the most resources given this horrible pandemic that we were all facing. The other big national effort that we'd love for you to take a look at is our work that we're doing with the Project on Government Oversight. We are building the largest big data platform to study and understand how COVID-19 relief spending is being allocated, to help ensure that the money that is being allocated as a result of the massive stimulus package that is well over $2.9 trillion now is getting into the hands of the Americans that need it most. And so you can find that work on the national website for the Project on Government Oversight. We're very excited about the direction of that effort and holding Congress accountable for the American people. So we are growing rapidly. We have roughly 65 employees at this point at RS21. We anticipate that we'll grow to 80 or 85 by the end of the year. We are looking for talented project managers, data scientists, UX, UI designers, and software developers. So if you know anyone, please send them our way to our careers page at RS21. Thank you very much for the opportunity to address this group. We're thrilled to be thriving in this community, and we hope that our story can be an inspiration to others. Thank you.
Charles, thank you. I'm so pumped up. Thank you for everything you do for not only New Mexico, but just for making our state and community a better place. So I have to think Adam Greenhood is ready to connect with you and many others on this call to see how RS21 is going to help them with their toughest business solutions. So thanks again. Nice work.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah. So I hope Annemarie is going to join me up here. We are ready to give away some door prizes for AED investor members that are in good standing, right, Annemarie?
Yes, sir.
That works. All right. How are we doing this?
All right. So, well, first of all, thank you so much to Cesar Rodriguez with Tempur-Pedic. We know that many of you stay to the end because you want a free mattress. I'm sorry, Eric, you cannot win one.
Okay, I'm out.
Neither can I. All right, so this is how this works. We spin it, we get a name, and then AED's staff will connect with you if you are a winner. And again, you have to be a member in good standing for that. All right, take it away. A wheel of happiness. Wow. Lydia Ashenine with 505 Award sponsor True Health New Mexico.
A Tempur-Pedic mattress. That's great. We've got 2 more of those.
I think we should give away another one. What do you think? By the way, I asked Tonjas if he wanted to come back and do this giveaway since everybody loves how he does it. And he said something like, no. So
something like that.
Yeah. All right, let's do it again. Run the wheel.
Cesar Rodriguez, thank you so much. This is great.
Brian Ross.
Congratulations, Brian. I'm jealous of all these people that are going to be sleeping so great.
Oh, right. I think we should give away one more.
All right, do it.
Do it.
It's a great wheel.
Melina Ham.
All right, congratulations.
All right. We have next up from member Sennheiser, who Eric talked about.
I mean, hopefully you're ready to win some of these great things.
And Eric,
I had to buy mine.
I think that these are actually, I don't know if everyone can see, are the headphones that you are using right now, right?
I don't know. I can't. My eyes aren't that good. I know somebody though.
It's the Momentum high fidelity noise isolating ear canal phones with outstanding bass, wireless, worth $130. Spin the wheel. Mr. Jeff Hall.
All right, congrats, Jeff.
And thank you again to Sennheiser's Joe Fortune, who's on our board, and Claudia Valles for helping us with this. So, I think I might have made a mistake. I did. The first one we did were the Momentum True wireless headphones. So the next up are the high fidelity, if everyone can see those.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, spin the wheel. Mr. John Dubois with Nusenda. Don't say we don't give you anything, John.
All right, we got one more, right?
We do.
Great. Oh, yeah, thank you again. Yes, those look like this.
These, right?
Yes, amazing. On planes when that sort of happened.
Momentum Wireless Black were $399.95. And we should also mention that, of course, I know one of these is specifically manufactured here in Albuquerque. So anytime you purchase them, you are helping Albuquerque. Okay, spin the wheel.
Lamitria Davis from Aon. Fantastic. Thanks for joining. That's great. So exciting.
That's it. So, Eric, do you want to wrap up the meeting?
I do. Thank you for hanging in there with us a few minutes past. Thank you so much for your investment, your commitment to Albuquerque. Thank you, Charles and Adam. Wonderful stuff. And for our sponsors, Klinger and Intel. And great job, AED. Thank you for continuing to do the work to build our community. So everybody, hope you have a great rest of your afternoon and the rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.